So I finally get a chance to put up a video. I think it's been like, God, like 2 years since I did anything on the channel. But stuff's going on here. I'm gonna be moving soon. Good luck. Well, within the next few months, moving from this place. So I'm actually packing up a lot of my collection, and so I'm gonna be posting some videos. So this video is basically gonna be about the stuff I'm packing up, and no time like the present, basically, to make a collection video, since I'm going to be packing most of it up anyway, and into boxes and whatnot, and trying to sell what I can on Tradera or eBay or Blocket and any of the other services we have here. But yeah, so I'm going to start doing that. Yes, I'm still getting over the broken ankle. I've been indoors for roughly like 8 weeks. The cast is off, and so I'm gonna crutch, hobbling around here. So I might as well get some packing done, and I don't know how I'm gonna get these boxes into the basement. Waiting. I've already started on one of the boxes here, and I've got some Blu-rays and DVDs I have to pack up, and then we're gonna move into the other room and pack up some games. So I'll be showing off some of my collection here. A lot of it is stuff that I picked up here at flea markets throughout Gothenburg over the last 4 years or so, and some of it, though the more valuable stuff, is stuff from my collection back from NYC, which I've had since I was like 10, 11 years old. So it's the original stuff. So I have a Turbo Duo and whatnot, which I've already packed up. So, but maybe I'll open up the box and just show you. I have the box, and my TurboGrafx and TurboGrafx CD and accessories and stuff I left at home, because packing that stuff up, it's like gotta be about 30 pounds or something all together in the TurboGrafx CD case, and I'm not gonna ship that over, so I would have had to put it inside the stowaway luggage, and that would have been way too expensive if it got stolen or lost. So that's still sitting at my mom's in Queens. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. I'm gonna start packing up and show you some of the stuff that I have. Yeah. So in the bedroom now, I still have a few things. Oh, actually, I haven't packed up the Turbo Duo box. I can show you that. This is my other crutch. Get it out of the way. Oh, now I can show you my leg. Any chance I get to show off my skull? So I got surgery on it. I got a titanium plate put into the ankle bone, and I'm going to be hobbling around for about 3 months more, and it's been 2 months already. So recovery is slow, but I'll get there. But in any case, games. So I've got some stuff here. I was repairing this oh god, why am I blanking? Master System game I picked up for 40 crowns at a thrift store over here. Yeah, so I picked this game up at a thrift store we have over here for 40 crowns, which is like about $5. So, but the outer flap thing, the plastic bit that keeps the cover on, was broken over here, so I just took some tape and taped it down. It's the easiest and the least damaging way to get this back in shape. So that's one. Oh, here is a bootleg of Animaniacs for the Genesis that fucker sold me on Tradera. I paid about $10 for it. Less than that, actually. It was originally $10, but then I wound up getting a couple more games from the guy, and so it came down quite a bit. So maybe about $6 for this. But he advertised it as legit. So the guy sold this to me. It's fake, obviously. Look at it. I arrives in the mail, and it's just cheap freaking plastic printout. And this, honestly, is like they just took plastic from like a freaking shopping bag and then spread it over the case. And then, I mean, They went through efforts to make it look somewhat fake, I guess, so they can export them. Ow! Wow, the edge is sharp. Damn, almost cut myself. Anyway, but obviously it's total fake. Look at that. Like printed on an inkjet printer with glossy paper. Focus, yep. It plays just fine. I was playing it last night. Look, it's got fake screws. Can't even open this. You have to like pry it open, I think, to get to it. The actual PCB looks super cheap. I feel like if I just sort of did that, it would break. If I put too much pressure on it, it'll break. So I wrote the guy, and I was like, hey dude, listen, you sent me a bootleg. Not sure if you knew it was bootleg or not, but I'm not paying for this. Send me a packing envelope, I'll send it back, and you give me a refund. So what the dude did was, I guess he got scared, and he just gave me a refund on this game. So I think he actually refunded me the price, the full price, not the discounted price. So I think I got a little bit of money off of him, and I got this free bootleg. So, I guess I can't complain too much. It's just annoying when people try to pawn off fake crap for real crap. No, that game's not crap. It's fun. It's a good game. Anyway, my bootleg copy of Alien Resurrection, speaking of crap, and this is Adidas Power Soccer International 97. I use this as a swap disc when I'm playing on the PlayStation 2. Because you cannot boot, I don't have a mod chip on mine. PlayStation 2. Set on the floor. I don't have a mod chip on my PlayStation 2, so I have to do the good old-fashioned swap trick and burnt CDs, because there's no way to run ISOs on a PlayStation 2. Not ISOs. But anyway, Rayman M. This stuff, I don't know. I guess I was going to play it and put it up in the closet. Harry Potter, Philosopher's Stone. No, it is called Philosopher's Stone because that's what it's called in, the book was called in Europe. In the US, it's the Sorcerer's Stone. Ratatouille! It's in Swedish. The game is in Swedish. So, not a great game. Shrek 2, I don't even know why I have these games, to be honest with you. Sometimes you have to get games like this in order to get bundle deals. You just kind of put them in a pile. This I got also, and what's it say? Yeah. And the flaming stupid phone ran out of space again. Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Anyway, Harry Potter, Flaming Albert, and Surf's Up. What the fuck? No, I did not pay 169 crowns for that. It was like 20 bucks. Nope, I did not pay that. I paid like £5 probably. Okay. What's in this pile? Alf. Gotta love Alf. Gordon Shumway. Best friend ever. Gordon put us in stitches. My GameCube from back home. I mailed this off to my girlfriend back in the day. Oh. Ooh, I've got some Lynx games in there. Yeah, Lynx Double Dragon. I'm not gonna open that up because it's counterproductive. I guess I used this. The GameCube is actually under the bed here somewhere. I've got Battleship, based on the movie. I've got a really cool Lego set from the 70s. Here. Pick this up rather cheap. Here we go. He's beat up. But yeah, it's a Turbo Duo box. It's my original Turbo Duo box. This Turbo Duo unit requires a TV or VCR with audio-video inputs. For more information, call 1-800-366-0136. Somebody out there, call that number. I can't call them from here. See if they're still in service. So this is the original, to be permanently retained by dealer as required by federal regulation. And they left it on there. That's neat. So, yeah, I bought this through the mail, I think? Yeah, I think I bought this through the mail. The reason, it was in much better shape than this. This happened over the course of years. But this here in this corner, this happened, and this right here too. This bit of damage here happened when I moved over over here. Actually, not when I moved over here. I went back 2 years later, back to NYC to pick up a bunch of stuff. And what I did was I took out all the inserts from the box, and then I flattened the box down and put it in a garbage bag and set it at the bottom of my suitcase. And it wasn't ideal, but it was the only way to get over here. So yeah, it got scratched up, it lost the color, and it got dinged up here and there. But the way I see it is, you know, moving from one country to another continent, for freaking sakes, some stuff's gonna happen. That definitely got dinged up over the course of years. I've had this since I was like 12, I think. So I think considering the age, it's in pretty good shape. And the damage that wound up happening on the plane, well, that's just life. Life happens. You know, you can't take this stuff with you. So you have to just accept that there's going to be reasonable damage done to some of your stuff on occasion. Philips CDI. I got this one. I didn't post the pickups video. Life has intervened, but I got this for 20 crowns at a antique shop. It has no power supply, no controller. It's just the unit itself, and no video cable. But I can make a video cable. So 20 crowns for just the thing with the box. Not too shabby. 20 crowns, about $2.65, I think. Is it? Maybe it's less than that. Depends. But let's say about $2.50. 20 crowns. Yeah, about $2.50. So not bad for a Philips CDI unit. I just gotta get the remaining parts. Guy had no idea what it was. He thought it was a CD player. He's like, "You want a CD player? Okay, take it." 20 bucks. 20 crowns, I mean. So I've got my assorted other games here. These are PlayStation 1 games, obviously Wild Arms, Metal Gear. I've got some Japanese PlayStation games. So this whole thing here is PlayStation games. Got Twisted Metal, Jet Moto, Tekken 2. Here we got some Saturn games. Bear with me, I have a bad ankle. It's tough for me to get out here to try to show you. Ow. Okay. So yeah, we got some Sega Saturn games here, all Japanese. I picked them up when I moved over here. I forgot the name of the vendor on eBay, but they are here. They are very cool people. They give you a decent discount if you buy a lot. So I spent probably too much on him. Some Dreamcast games on here. Got PAL version of Empire Strikes Back. It's in cellophane because I was trying to protect the label, I think. I've got this. I picked this up at Retrospielmessen about 2 years ago. 50 crowns? Yeah, I think I paid 50 crowns for this. No, I didn't pay 50 crowns. It was labeled 50 crowns, but it was in a bargain bin, so it's like 20 crowns I think I paid for it. I don't really know what it is. It's some kind of like RPG thing slash platformer. This is Ken Griffey Jr.'s Winning Run, completely covered in Blockbuster Video labels, Palmer Video labels. Super Gold 2. Again, Palmer Video. These actually came from my buddy Jake when I was 16 years old. He moved to Alaska and he gave me his Super Nintendo and his game collection. Which did include Legend of Zelda. So I have 2 copies of this because I actually picked up a copy from a dude over here, a collector over here. He gave me a really nice deal. I think I paid 50 crowns for it. He had no use for an American copy of Legend of Zelda. He said he'd gotten an adapter. I was picking up an adapter from him, and he sold me that game, plus a couple of others, US ones that he didn't want, because American stuff here is, or NTSC stuff here, is totally worthless to them. They, collectors prefer to have the SCN, that's the Swedish company that's licensed to import into Scandinavia the Nintendo games. So unless it's SCN, it's worthless to them. Even the Japanese stuff is worthless. So you can get American games over here, if you can find them ever, from a collector for pretty cheap. So that's a little handy tip for you if you ever move to Sweden. It's just shit you pick up as you try to live your life over here and how to get the best deals. Obviously, I want North American stuff and TSC stuff, so I'm going to try to get that. But if I can get a PAL game and trade that in for the NTSC equivalent, I will do that. Even though I have an adapter, I'd rather have the original. So this is obviously my original Sega 6-pack from back in the day, yo. Old school. Cosmic Space Head. I think this was like a Metal Jesus hidden gem or something. Focus. Metal Jesus, I think recommended this. Somebody maybe on the channel. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's like an adventure game, like a point-and-click adventure game for the Genesis. I got it for like dirt cheap on Tradera. So I'm not going to go through all the games in here because as you can see, there's a lot. This is PAL and NTSC N64 games. Which one is this? Let's just pick a random one and see. Skarsh is how they would pronounce it here in Göteborg. My accent is terrible in Swedish. Please forgive me if you're watching this and you're in Sweden. So yeah, Master System games. Picked up my first cart. Sega card, Ghost House. For really cheap. Because I brought my Master System from home, the old school one. I have a Master System Mini. I have two Master System Minis here that I've picked up for dirt cheap. But I prefer my NTSC one. Here we see the prices from Metro-Spelmässan from like 3 years ago. These are not the prices I paid for them because I got a bundle deal for a bunch. I think all these games actually. So way cheaper than that. So maybe 30 crowns each. So that's, at the time that was 15 bucks. It's dropped down to about 11 bucks now. That's 100 crowns. So 80 crowns. Adventurous Boy. I think they talked about that one on GameSack. So I have to get it. A PAL version of the Super Game Boy. Yes, this is the version I use. Is it? Is it the version I use? Huh. Yeah, I think it is. I think I used... No, this is the Japanese version. Yeah, it's the Japanese and I have a PAL version, which is broken, because I broke it. I was trying to region unlock it, and I fucked up the lockout chip. Anyway, let's not do that. Oh, here's my converter. If you're going to get yourself a converter, I recommend this one, if you can find it anywhere. This one supports the, obviously, the FX chip. So and it does, see, over here, it'll do PAL and NTSC, and obviously Japanese ones. So this insert will work on NTSC and PAL and Japanese. So it plays everything, basically. So what you do is you pop in your original game, not bootlegs, obviously, but what you do is you pop in your region, the game in, what am I trying to say? Pop in the game of the region, same region as the system that you're trying to play on. So if you have a PAL one, you pop in your PAL game here, and then you put in your NTSC game here, or your Japanese game here, or whatever you have, and vice versa, and then you hit the switch. And then this basically allows you to play the game that's in cartridge slot A, I believe, while using the lockout chip for cartridge slot B, which would be, let's say I have a PAL system, which I don't, I have NTSC. Okay, so I have an NTSC system, so I put in my NTSC copy of Legend of Zelda in here, and then I put my PAL copy of Empire Strikes Back here. I hit X, and Empire Strikes Back will boot up using the lockout chip from my NTSC copy of Zelda. A and B basically just means you directly boot into whatever game are in those slots. So you can use it as a game switcher too. You can have two games in the slot at the same time, and here is to convert. It's very neat. It works perfectly with all games I've tested it with, and yeah, I didn't get it for too much either, so reasonably priced. Oh, this one's kind of neat. It's like, I think it's a fight pad, the Super Pad 64. I picked this one up recently at a thrift store for 10 crowns. That's like $1, let's say. And it didn't come with a thumb pad, so I had to take a PS2 thumb pad and take a Dremel, and that's why it looks like that. I had to Dremel it down. I took the rubber off of it and then just kind of fashioned an N64 replacement stick out of it. It works pretty well, if I say so myself. Collection of controllers. Found this Donkey Kong controller, or banana controller, or whatever. It's not Donkey Kong because it doesn't have a logo. But the yellow controller was completely shit. It was like 5 crowns I paid for it, so say about 50 cents I paid for this thing, and I cleaned it up. This is my original, very dusty now, Jaguar controller. My cute little thumb drive. Yep, I have my NES Advantage here, which you can see gets a lot of use. Not at all. But yeah, I got this one back when Toys R Us was doing clearance sale on all their Nintendo stuff. Back in over 10 years ago? Yeah, 10 years ago, they still had back stock of Nintendo shit. So Nintendo 64, all the systems, all the older ones. They brought out, this was the one in Manhattan. In Union Square back in the day. That one's shut down now. And they brought out all of their Nintendo back stock, which meant they did have some NES games there as late as 10 to 12 years ago. So I picked this up for about $5, along with Perfect Dark, Majora's Mask, and several other guys. Hey You Pikachu. What was the other one? Pokemon Stadium. All of them sealed. So for like 50 cents each, I think, or $1 each. I don't remember. I think it was 50 cents. And so I bought a play copy, opened it up, and the other games I have sealed. So sometimes it happens. Dreams can't come true. But remember, this was like 12 years ago. No one collected shit back then. No one was collecting Nintendo. No one gave a crap about retro gaming. So it was literally garbage, and you'd go and buy this stuff at big retailers, and it'd be like, why do you want that? You have a PlayStation now. So it's pretty funny how things have changed. So here's my lovely CRT. It does RGB. It is a Tandberg Selecto. It's a 27-inch. At least that's what I call it. I don't know what it would be in metric. 27-inch. It's got speakers on it, but I plugged in some computer speakers to it. Here are my crazy loads of SCART switch boxes. SCART switch boxes are nice, but of course you only have one RGB port on this thing, and the other one does not do RGB. It's just a SCART port. Most of them are like that. Most of them only do RGB on one of the ports. The other ones are for things like S-Video or composite. So you need to have a switch box, obviously. So I have 3 switch boxes all going to one port, and what I do is I have this cable and I kind of just pop it out. Hard to do with one hand. I pop it out and then I plug it into the port. Gotta be careful because these have some amount of voltage going through them, so you get a little shock sometimes. And then that's that. This one is hooked into here. See that? So I split one port into 2, and I just have to flip the switch over here. So this one is modified. I have a sync stripper chip that I put into it because the PlayStation 2 only does sync on composite, I think. I think it's sync on composite. And so you have to strip out the composite signal from the composite signal. You have to strip out the composite from the composite line so that you can just get the sync and not the color information from the composite line. So I use that. But my Sega Saturn and the SNES and the Genesis and SMS, all those do C-Sync, I believe. So, and obviously since it's on a different line, it's got its own pure sync line. This doesn't interfere with that. This only affects anything that's doing sync on composite. So it works out pretty well. I didn't have to modify each and every one of these, every cable that I needed, like 3 of them, I think. these three do sync and composite. So I didn't want to wire them up all, so I just, since I have to go back and forth using this one wire, I just put the sync stripper in here, and it works out dandy like candy. Let's try out. Let's try that Animaniacs game out, just so I can show you picture quality. It's not going to pick up on the video. This video is running long already. But I think I'm going to leave you here. But before I do that, I've got my Sega Saturn here. I've got I made a region mod. I have a switch in the back. There's like the VCD port. When you put the VCD card into it, that's where I put the switch. So it's beneath the flap, and you just kind of go, and it goes from 60 hertz to 50 hertz because I'm in PAL territory. So, and just switches the games over. This one I have. I'll just show you real quick here. Hello, Mr. TV. Would you like to turn on? Here we go. Good old Konami logo. Alright, look at those gorgeous scan lines. Yeah, I know I'm getting some weird patterns here. Look at that. Look at that shit. Look at that, it's gorgeous. You can barely make it out, but god damn, does that not look good? It looks good. Of course it looks good. I got a keen setup over here. So I have a region switch over here on my Genesis. So flip it forward, and it switches to PAL. That's PAL. And then NTSC. And then you switch it one more time, and it becomes Japanese, but you can't see it because this doesn't have Japanese language on it. But yeah, Streets of Rage switches from Streets of Rage to Bare Knuckle with the Japanese text and everything on it when you do that. Looks pretty neat. Let's turn that off. Okay, I've got my NES over here, obviously. I've got two Nintendo 64s. You can't see them. I have, this is my NTSC one from back home, from back in the day, and then my girlfriend's, my Sambo's, her PAL unit back there. My brain's fried. Oh yeah, I have a PAL Xbox, which I did a soft mod on, so now it's region free. Obviously it's crystal, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. The LEDs light up. I'm gonna do some LED mods so the whole front panel lights up when I turn it on, and it'll glow gorgeously. Listen to the noisy hard drive I have in there. It's my secondary system, so I don't care too much about this one. It's just really nice for looks. Sometimes I play some memories on it, but I mostly play out in the living room on the HD TV. Here we have my Jaguar, which I bought for my brother-in-law for about $100 back in the day because he wanted to get the Nintendo 64 instead. He had made the wrong purchase. I love the Jaguar though. Great purchase. Here's a very dusty PlayStation 2. This I do actually use quite often, so I'm not sure why it gets so dusty. I guess we have a cat, I don't know, or we just shed a lot. Anyway, this is my PlayStation 2. I have this, there's no point in showing you, but, so anyway, I put some tape inside here. I modified it so that I could do the swap trick, and this is what I play my burnt PlayStation 1 games on, because I don't want to use my original ones. Actually not. This is a Genesis controller I modded recently. I put tack switches in. Can you hear? It clicks. So I replaced all the buttons down here and the pads with tack switches. So it clicks more, it's far more responsive. These three. Anyway, so it's a neat mod. I've done it with a couple of them. I'm going to do it with a Nintendo controller too. Down here I have my Master System, which is also super dirty. Oh my god, so dusty. Oh, it's gross. Anyway, this is mine. Master System. I have a Master System Mini in the closet. I have two of them. One of them I did a region mod, and I was in the middle of doing an RGB mod. And then I went home to visit mom, and I decided to bring back my Master System from home. So no need to do an RGB mod on the Master System Mini now, because now I have this one, and it has the card slot, and it looks very Star Warsy, doesn't it? It's very Star Warsy, super Star Warsy. Let's see. Ooh. How very Vader of you. Oh. Let's see. Yep. Master System in yellow for some weird. I think I'm running out of room on my phone again. Anyway, here's my Master System. So that's basically it. My game room tour. The video cut out because I keep running out. I have an iPhone now. Yeah, I got into an accident with a leg. Brief story. And I lost my whole bag, so I lost my wallet and my Android phone and everything. And a friend of mine was good enough to give me his old iPhone so that I didn't have to buy a new phone. So I'm not going to complain, but it's very limited in space. So that's why that problem keeps happening with video cutting out and stuff. Anyway, it's the style that the kids love. It's always cutting and, you know, very MTV, if that even exists anymore. Anyway, so one last thing I want to show you. So here's my Master System, obviously, and I have my fat PlayStation 2 NTSC on here, so I can play my original PlayStation 1 games if I want to on here. I'd rather not touch them. I'd rather just make them burn and then do a swap trick. Yeah. Let's stick you back in there. This is the free MCB, Magic Memory Card thing that lets you unlock your PlayStation 2. Here's my NTSC Super Nintendo and controller. I'm gonna get going. I've got some stuff to do, and the video is probably gonna wind up getting cut off anyway. So I'll do, as I pack up, I'll show some more stuff, and then it's all going into boxes, and I'm going to be playing on emulators after that point until I get into a new place. So hopefully that'll happen sooner than later. But that's the situation right now. Thanks guys for tuning in, and I will continue posting as I pack things up. Yeah. It's bittersweet to say goodbye to the systems, but you know, that's life. Honestly, it's not all about the video game. Sometimes you got to make choices that are a bit sad, but the collection should not come first. Life should come first, and loved ones should come first. Anyway, I'll catch you on the flip side. Mwah.